Alright, first things first, I need to do an audio check. So we're just making sure that I got audio. There we go. Music seems a little bit loud. Still have to tweak some of those settings. Alright, so it's been a while since I've done a Star Citizen video, simply because of how terrible 3.14 performed. So now that 3.2 is out, I wanted to jump in and get going. Now I've already tweaked my controls, I've already redone the settings, I've redone the character. I think I got everything squared away, and we should be able to see how things look here in just a moment once the game actually kicks in, which it should be doing right there, I hope. Okay, okay, not sure why that came up. Play info 3, there we go. FPS is not sitting too well. I remember how to get up now. Okay, we're at 32 FPS. So while he gets out of bed, I saw a micro stutter, that's not good. Some of the main changes that they put in are, let me take a look here real quick. Unplug my tablet so I can read some of the changes here off of Spectrum. So some of the key changes, they've got some new missions, some updated FPS stuff in there, expanded ability to pick up objects, navigation. Just going to blitz through some of these because there's a lot. They updated some of the ships and vehicles for thrusters. Of course, the Prospector can now use its mining laser. Fixed a ton of bugs and things like that. You've got, from what it looks like, they brought back in where you can activate the quantum travel, which will then bring up the menu so you can then travel out to objects and see what's nearby instead of having to go into your Moby Glass and then use the navigation menu, which is just, thank you, I've been wanting that feature back for a while. Chat windows open by default, I don't really care about that. Again, a ton of bug fixes, a lot of updated ship changes. They fixed a few crash issues. Alliance, resized DDX flight HUD, so a lot of minor things and fixes there, but I know they've done a lot of stuff. So your party should be able to now transfer or quantum jump as a group, which is great. They added some new FPS weapons, some new stuff back into Arena Commander. The Hurricane, Blade, Eclipse, 600i are all now in the game. Overheat, you can overclock your weapons now, which is great. So quantum linking is in, that's what I was talking about, where multiple users can all travel together. Looks like they added some stuff to ground locations and things that you can actually add to your weapon or to your ship through kiosks and adjustments. So you've got a lot of mining gameplay. I know that's coming in, and I'm going to try to experience that live on my own before I do anything else. That's it, really. So some item containment stuff, some other back-end fixes. Otherwise, most of it's focused on the actual gameplay there. So let me switch back over to the stream, which isn't too far behind, thankfully. And let's see if I can remember how to play this, since I've been playing Flight Simulator and so many other games recently. So my FPS right now is sitting at 34, 33. Let's see how long it holds. I'm at 32 now. There's a micro stutter. I'm at 29 for that. Back up to 30 now. Wow, that guy's decked out. Holy cow, dude. Alright, let's grab my Super Hornet. Fingers crossed, I hope. Make sure all my ships are in here. There's the Rover, the Aquila, Prospector, one Freelancer. So they fixed that issue. The duplicate ship issue's been taken care of now. Alright, let's find out where we're going. Maybe. A7, so voices are still messed up because I should have heard the computer come in and tell me your ship is now available. We'll proceed to the correct landing area. AI still has some problems. That's what you get for having a man bun. Okay, I did click it. Still at about 34 FPS. You can tell by the much smoother gameplay right now. Oh, another micro stutter. 33 FPS, so we're going to start off with performance here and kind of link that into combat before we go down to mining, just because it's going to be the easiest thing to do. So ship weapons are attached, that's good. That's definitely going to help. Just the pilot ladder on my 3.3 rail that was bugged. So I'm noticing that there's not as many micro stutters, and I can deal with a few in there. So the other thing to consider on that is this server, when I joined it, only had, I think, 12 players on it, which probably has something to do with, oops, light rating. Might have something to do with the overall experience. Is my mouse inverted?
Takeoff complete.
Raise the landing gear. Now they've also tweaked the flight model a bit. Okay, good. No, my mouse is not inverted. Alright, so that's coming up. Oh, see? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You can hear my drive spooling. Oh, okay, that is awesome. Okay, I love that. Gotta say, I love that. Let's see what ships are around here. Is there 600i? I want to take a look at one. Anybody got a 600? 600 series? I guess I could always cycle through targets. Retaliator, Titan, Mustang. There it is. You're pretty close, actually, right there. Kind of blended in. It's a pretty big ship. Looks good. Ooh, bad. Complete performance lag out. Okay, so it's just the game that's frozen at the moment. That's something. Let's see if it recovers here in a minute, because it appears that my live stream is still going where I'm able to see myself and I can still hear myself, so that's something. So I was posting in chat that we have a complete lag out. I think the game crashed here. I don't have any menu options. I don't have anything, so alright, so I think I'm live again now. I know the resolution's jacked up. That's because I'm on the loading animation and it hasn't reset to the proper single monitor gameplay, which it should be doing now. There it goes. Because again, I have a ultra wide set of 5760 by 1200, but I play the game in normal. So I want to try rejoining my instance. That was bad. For only having 12 to 13 players on the entire server, within 5 minutes to have a complete lag out that the game crashes and I have to start over again, that does not bode well. And again, I have a 5820 at 4 gigahertz. I have an SSD, a 950 EVO that this is running off of now instead of my EVO Pro. And then I have 32 gigs of RAM. That's a 6-core CPU with hyper-threading. Plenty of hard drive space, plenty of memory. My GPU is a interesting. I just noticed the background is the game. Anyway, my GPU is a 1080 Ti overclocked to 2036 right now, without any overheating issues. Let me pull up my ARC stock for Logitech and see if I can find out what my CPU is doing here.
Aerospace. All systems online.
Let's take a look. Okay, I'm back in. Somehow I got way over here. Okay, everybody's still here. It looks like most of the servers crashed as well. Now, it does look like my CPU is actually getting utilized a little better now. I do have Chrome and everything else running in the background, which is probably eating up 10% of the CPU because I have a ton of Chrome browsers open right now, job hunting. So my CPU's averaging about 50 to 54%. Some dips into the 40s, 30s, some up into the 55s, 60s. It's pushing 50 Celsius, so no problems there. My GPU is barely being pushed at 33% usage. Clock speed is only 1506 megahertz. And GPU memory is only at 35, so I'll put that up on the camera just so you know I'm not complete crap. I don't know if you can actually see that on the stream, but I'll leave it up there for a second. Hopefully the camera will focus on it. Alright, I'm going to push this sideways so I can see it a little larger now. Okay, let's go somewhere and try to find somebody to fight. So Moby Glass. Shoot, let's do our display info 3 so I can get my FPS back up. Let that synchronize. Clear out Lowrider's hunting grounds. Accept offer. Okay. Where do I need to go? Let's go to the nav map. Rendezvous. Set as destination. Okay. Okay, now I gotta look up how I'm supposed to quantum travel in the new system. Where was that? Okay, quantum, quantum, quantum. There's a lot of quantum words in here. That was calibration time. Push and hold, yeah, just like before. We're off. Alright, so I like that. We're at 40 FPS now. That's interesting. I think the dead zone's kind of back in on the control module section, which is good. CPU's under 50 now. I think the rendezvous point's on the other side.
Quantum drive is now off.
Yeah, see, the dead zone's back now. I have some movement of my mouse. That's how I like the play to be. Alright, so orbital markers. We gotta go around the planet here.
Quantum drive is now
That's gonna make it so you can't just boost out. But see, to me, that ties in with something I complained about with interdiction previously, in that the quantum drive should calibrate your location, it should download Navicomputer, it should reach out to the system, and it should gather some more data about what's going on. So for it to be able to actually and properly moved too much. I don't want to go to the orbital marker. But for it to be able to calibrate and find out where I am, warning, that must mean there's a planet in my way there, isn't there? Alright, but to have it go back in and actually calibrate and tell me kind of what's happening and then make it so I don't just rush straight to my death, that's what to me matters a lot. It should do that because for most of those asteroids and things, I shouldn't just drive right into them. It should dodge them and not allow me to crash into them. That's just dumb. What's the lights? Whoa. Okay, that's how you turn the ship off. Now I'm on the dark side of the planet here, and I must say the illumination effects are much better here. This looks gorgeous back here. You can see the asteroids a little bit back here. Those two blue lights need to die, but I think those are the holographic projectors for the central HUD in the middle. Let's power up. Now I'm going to start running into some visual issues here. there's going to be some small asteroids out there that I don't see until it's too late. Can't even tell if my lights are turning on or off. This is going to be difficult if the fight takes place in the dark. Alright, so externally I'm still at 33 FPS, which isn't bad. Coming up on this. Takes a lot longer to get up to speed now. The initial boost isn't bad, but... Now why did coupling take off? Coupling shouldn't change anything on that end. I'm getting lucky that I haven't crashed in any of these big guys. Fix that issue. I think I'm about to fly into something here before long. Whew, that was the one I was watching. Ooh, insta-red out, insta-red out. That's pretty brutal. Oh, well geez. No wonder it's insta-red out. It takes forever to get up to speed, but then you immediately lose all that speed? That's dumb in my opinion. It should take me some time to throttle down. No wonder I'm at 91% or 91 of my 100 fuel for that. Thank you, Senor Mario. That was a great way to say it. It should take time to slow down. I don't like that at all. It wasn't as bad in the previous version, and I complained about it there because you just stopped on a dime. And you really shouldn't. It should take some time to actually slow down and lose all your throttle. Because it takes so long to get the afterburner to move that it shouldn't immediately stop you. Look at that. I'm going to red out just from that. That burns a lot of thrust. Alright, so there's the enemy. Alright, let's hope the flight mode works. Shoot. Okay, good. I know how to fix those. Engines, weapons, shields, we're going to put that there. Forward stacking and all of that. Good to go. Alright, flight controls are very different here. Alright, gotta remember where all my controls are. There we go. Things seem to be drifting a lot more sluggishly, which is interesting. Whoa. Okay, my weapon. Interesting, my ship is half destroyed and I haven't even fired anything yet. Alright, this is not going well. I'm out of energy already. How? Damage modules are a lot more different now. Okay, got you down. Asteroid. Man, my weapons barely seem to be working. No. 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 Yes. Alright, putting some more power behind the weaponry. Okay, so the output damage is good. Why did those overheat so fast? Those are slow shooting. Those seem to be shooting really slow compared to previously. This is my Super Hornet, which suddenly doesn't feel so super. Okay, I got the power menu here. I've already adjusted that for a little more weapons. Sure, yep. Saw that coming. Let's not fly into that giant asteroid. Okay, items. All stop. What the heck is that? Gimbal mount weaponry. Whoa. Should have decoupled.
Flare.
Oops. Alright. Where's my first unpleasant guy? Here we go. Alright, let's see if I can get this guy down. He's shooting at somebody. Who's the friendly? Cutlass. Don't think I'm in range. I have no idea what that was. I think that was the scanning menu. Alright, so let's conserve energy until I'm guaranteed to really nail this guy like that. Oof. Ship is a bit more sluggish than it used to be. Okay. Get out a little farther. And I should be able to do some more bits on him. Got that one. Took some damage from that. Create a fucking guys suck. Okay, so Neil's got the Buccaneer, that's good. Alright. Combat is difficult now. So there's aspects of the controls that I do like having the dead zone here so I can actually maneuver my mouse around and just get a little bit of that without having to go into Z in order to control everything. I like that. But the ship on a whole feels a lot more sluggish than it ever did before. So what I mean by that is when you pivot hard, it takes longer for the thrusters to readjust so you can move the other way, so you tend to overcompensate, which is why I'm moving so much. I'm not used to it yet, so I'm not saying it's bad or good yet. I'm just not too keen on it as it stands just yet. I hate that ultra braking thing. It should take longer to slow me down. It shouldn't just dump me into immediate stop mode and make me red out as soon as I get there. I'll have to see. I'll play with this combat a few more times and then I'll probably see about disabling that option so that I can try to compare it. I forget exactly what it's called from the previous one. What I will say, since we're out here doing combat and performance, is I haven't had any real lag study, and the performance has been solid over. Okay, why is the AI not flying? The performance has been solid 30 FPS overall. Is the AI not doing anything? Scattered. Burn something out of him. That hurt. I lost my tail. So he's scattered in. Full shields forward, and I'm dead. I was afraid of that. Did I hit an asteroid? Looks like an asteroid appeared in me. Can't tell. He actually blew me up. Alright, let's put a claim in. So, the AI, what I noticed in that was instead of like flying around doing all the crazy maneuvers, they just sort of stop. They don't really maneuver much anymore, so I'm expecting them to keep flying off at normal speed, and instead they've just sort of parked right behind me where they were. So I pivot around and boom, I practically fly into them. So some of that damage was self-inflicted by discharging weapons point blank into them. Some of it was them having pretty strong weapons that were attacking me, and others was just the control modules. The ship doesn't feel like it maneuvers as much. Now I know there is an option to hold X down. I got some good UAC. Yeah, I'll pay expedited for that. Anyway, what the heck was I even talking about? The X for ultra maneuverability mode. You can hold X down and it uses a lot of fuel to maneuver your ship a lot faster. I can use that, and I did a few times, and it does help, but again, it burns through fuel and makes you red out, which is why I wasn't sitting on that button doing that the whole time. So, not exactly sure. Hey, it looks like I still have the Aurora MR that I stole from Rio. That's very true, Justin. AI is not flying because you are not playing. Alright, so while I wait for that, let's take out a big ship real quick. Let's get the Constellation out, and let's see how performance is when this thing's out, because now that I'm looking, my GPU memory's up to 73%. You can see it just lagged out again. I'm not sure if the stream will die again or not. So we'll see. There's another major lag out. CPU usage is down to 0. I don't think the game's dead because the stream's still running. We'll see if it dies like last time. So my CPU's down to 2%, which is just running background processes. GPU is down to 3% usage. Video engine is 13%, and GPU memory is at 73%. Computer RAM is at 57%, so I don't have a leak. There's no memory leak itself. Thank you for subscribing, Justin. I don't have a memory leak. Last time this happened, it took about 2 minutes before it finally came back or crashed. Mouse is unresponsive, so if I hit escape, what happens? I think I'm going to have to relaunch. See if I can get Task Manager to even load, or if I have to reboot the computer. So two things will happen here. I'm going to try to pull up Task Manager to terminate the game and relaunch. If it fails, then I'm going to have to reboot. There it goes. Star Citizen just dumped. Alright, so it should be reloading. Again, the resolution is going to be jacked up until it switches from the intro video to my actual game resolution, which will be in just a second. Alright, it should be kicking in here in just a minute. Okay, can I get you full screen? Yes, I want to do persistence. Let's see, I hear my voice. There it goes. Finally, when I hit refresh, it finally decides to come back. Alright, there we go. Okay, there it goes. Finally, game's back up and running. Full screen. Should be rejoining my instance here in a second. So, on the whole, I'll say performance is better, but these crashes are pretty brutal. I closed Chrome in the background, so my memory dropped down to 34% usage. That's what I get for having like 60 job sites open. Good. That's interesting. The stream didn't actually dump on me, but the performance killed the game. Maybe it's because I reloaded the game fast enough and it never actually closed out of the Star Citizen launcher, so the stream didn't totally die. Okay. Do I have a ship? See if I can. Okay, so Fleet Manager has not loaded. Gonna have to go check the big pads for a random constellation or something here. Well, that's awesome. All my ships are gone. Okay. That's not cool. About this giveaway. Ha ha ha. Display 3. Asset not loaded. That's not a good sign. So I don't think the game's happy with being dumped all these times. Okay, these two pads do not have a constellation on them. Let me check the other side. So Justin, this AI is this you? It seems productive. Oh, that's some slick armor, dude. Alright, so that is an Aquila. I wonder if that's my Aquila. Let's go check that out before we either reload the verse and get the prospector out and go do some mining. Or not. Alright, so FPS is back up to 35. I'm hoping this is mine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is my Aquila. See if it lets me interact with it. Yeah, it does. Good, so this is my ship. Okay, let me on. Let's go up. Oh, I can't wait till we can take the snub fighter out. Alright, let's turn on the headlight here. I think you can, oop, I don't want to go down the ladder. I need to see if from the kiosk you can equip the buggies into the ships yet, because I would love to put the buggy in the cargo hold here. Okay, I just fell down the ladder. Alright, let's get this thing powered up and off real quick and see exactly how well the performance is. Alright, in the pilot seat. Fighting in this thing would be ridiculous, but let's do flight ready.
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
Okay, so I don't like not being able to see those two subsequent screens, but I can see enough of them to figure out what my shields are doing. That's good.
Takeoff complete.
Why are we drifting? Let's raise the landing gear. There's the other 600i.
Landing gear raised.
Broken. Okay, landing gear's up. Let's go. Where do we want to go? Let's go to Yila. Where's Yila? There you are.
Quantum drive.
And we're off. Alright, there's the little snub fighter there in the back. Can't wait to take that off the ship and fly it. My main cannons are attached properly. There's lights, you just have to actually power the ship up before they'll turn on. Alright, let's go down to the surface. What's down there? I don't think I've got a lot of targets I can see here. Deacon's Research, let's go there. I think you're on the other side of the planet. 1,000 kilometers away. You're closer. I could probably do you. So they changed it to where you can kind of quantum jump a lot closer to these destinations, which will make it a lot easier to actually get to them, and it should help without needing orbital marker all the time. So it's not going to take me all the way to it, but it will take me. See that? Oh, that's gorgeous. It actually flew me through the asteroid field and then brought me down right above it. Now, they did also change it recently in 3.1.4 and this, where you can't really just fly a big ship into the planet anymore. You kind of have to ease it down. So I'm going to come in a little behind it and then fly in over it. Ships like the Reclaimer, you actually have to use your main thrusters to stay up, and then once you get closer you can switch into landing mode and use full thrust to try to land the ship. I should probably have marked a target here, but that's alright. It was nice to do that, but it's also not super legit. Close. How close are you? Oh, I can't see it in this mode. Alright, well, we're coming down. Now, Yila doesn't have an atmosphere, so I won't get any of the atmospheric entry effects. But if you look, you can see the blue haze of the atmosphere that is here as I fly into it, and you can see the actual horizon line of the planet, which is pretty slick. Again, with the braking. I hate that braking. Since there's not a huge atmosphere here, I shouldn't have too many issues getting down. We are 48 kilometers away, so we should be here in just a few moments. I think I can see where the outpost is already. Yep, kinda. Alright, let's get in there. Now in this one, it's kind of hard to see, but those arms that are there in the center of the screen, there's two of them. Those are the missile pods that will extend out of the hull and a way to use them, but right now they're not in place. And then on the top, right in this housing that's right there in front of the screen, is the, I guess I could move the screen, sensor pod right there behind the doors. And then on the bottom, behind those doors there, is the underside turret. Since I don't have any gunner at the moment, nobody's there to shoot. Alright, how close are we to this place? Getting very close. Okay, so the surfaces come into view with some nice melted glacial lakes. Some nice mountainous terrain that we'll have to kind of navigate to come in and land. Not too high up now. I love being able to come down to these planets and do this without any delay. Performance is still at 35 FPS, so they definitely have cleaned up the performance. Micro stutters are few and far between, so I can live with that considering it's an alpha, pre-alpha. It's those crashes that are killing me. And they seem to happen every so when something major comes in and out of the verse. Alright, we should see the research facility pop up here in a minute. It's not going to be very big, it's going to be a tiny little one over there on the hills. Then we will have to try and land at it. Start throttling down here. There it is on the hillside, coming into view now. Not a lot of straight land here for me to come in on, which is going to make this a little difficult. Surface rocks. I may have to land somewhere else, but let's see what we can pull off here. Let's lower the landing gear. That'll slow me down a lot.
Landing gear deployed.
And let's actually lose some altitude here and level off. See if we can slot in beside it here. We have to come pretty far forward. Yeah, Now I'm gonna have to pan to the right a little bit. Let's start descending.
Low.
It's not a collision, it's called landing. Alright, we're down. Alright, let's leave the ship on, but turn the engine off. Didn't mean to do that. That's what I need to do. I need to redo the key binding for exiting the seat. I always forget some of those. Flight advanced. How do you leave your seat? H target. Modifier 1 plus F is how you exit your seat. And that used to cause a glitch. Alright, so now you can see that the ship is actually powered up. Performance is now at 38 FPS, so that's a little better. Make cargo hold. Ah, dang it. I don't want to go down the ladder. You get too close to it, it auto mounts you to them, which is annoying. So if I open the main deck, it's going to go down the surface there. See the shadow of the hull. The lighting fixed in, so that just looks awesome. Although, I'm noticing that half of my rear gear is not actually down. That's the main block. We'll go out of that in a second. Let's get in the turret. Again, on this ship, there's only an underside turret. So let's get down into the turret. There we are. Okay, which buttons do what? Power on. So they added a little bit of the dead zone to the turrets, which is awesome. Yeah, not my best landing job, but it'll work. Alright, what do you... Weapon change fire mode. Interesting, that's kind of cool. Alright, let's power off. It'll return to its default position, and then we can exit. Turret will take me up. I don't think they've got anything in with the scanners just yet. They should have replaced it with a turret. The Andromeda is the one that has the upper turret. This one's supposed to be a sensor array. Yeah, so if I go outside now, you can see I'm up there in the main sensor array, where I can scan for things, which is cool. Not much to do in this right now, since that whole aspect of the game isn't really fully in yet. Close down. Let's go hop off the ship real quick. That's a texture glitch. Power went off. Alright, we are now out. Guess it never closed the hull for the lower turret when I got out. That's okay. So not too bad of a landing zone. Actually have a gun? I do. I forget the hotkey to put the gun away. That's okay. This is just a little research facility we'll run in. Why is my gun still around? I said stow, which means put your gun away. Alright, what are the commands for that? Why is that not there? On foot, advanced, reload, prone, roll left, roll backwards, heal. I've got the sidearm. How do I put it away? N. There we go. Change some of the hotkeys on you. Sweet. So they fixed a lot of the walking previously, where your guy will actually properly use the stairs. Kind of blitzes up and down them, but it's not that big of a deal. Oh, that was cool. Alright, now we're in the research station. Not a lot to see and do here. Messy place. These guys must have left in a hurry. Just a basic little research post. There's my cool ship. Alright, so let's head back, grab the prospector, and see what we can do to finish this particular stream out. And then we'll come back and we'll do a lot more in-depth videos and streams about each thing specifically. I just wanted to get back in the game and see how it performed. And if there were other players around here, I definitely would not have left my landing gantry down, because then somebody would steal my ship. Go up. Okay. Guess the ship did power down a little more than I thought. Alright, let's go. Flight
Engines
ready.
are off. Shields are on. Engines are on.
There we go.
Complete.
Raise the gear, thrust up.
Landing gear
There's
raised.
Crusader. Whoa, barrel rolls hard. Alright, so altitude's going up. Let's throttle all the way up as much as we can.
Shields max.
Okay, I can't exit the atmosphere just yet. Yeah, so everything's telling me to exit atmosphere right now because I'm still in the atmosphere. I have to fly out of it before it will let me actually quantum, which is fine. That way I don't fall back into the gravity well when I'm going. So you can see my altitude's still climbing up. Okay. Speed is increasing, which is good. That'll get me out faster. We got some vibrations as we're passing out. Should be coming up into space here pretty soon. Come on. Almost up to full speed. There we go. Welcome to orbit. Comms arrays. Portalazar. Bigger the ship, the longer the calibration.
Quantum drive is now on.
Right, well, that's doing that. I've already got this one. I can't change that one. Alright. Menu comms. Once we get close enough to Alazar here, I will be able to request my landing clearance. Hopefully it works. Okay, I don't really want to do anything to the open global channel. Alright, when I get closer, come on Alazar. There it is. Okay, Port Alazar, you should have given me landing clearance by now.
Landing gear deployed.
Really? You're still broken, Alazar? That's not vexing at all to not be able to request landing clearance. Yeah, all the pads are red because you don't want me to land, but you gotta give me landing clearance. Otherwise, how am I actually gonna land? Great, I wonder if that's part of the broken system.
Collision alert. Starboard.
No, there's no collision on my right side. Maybe the distance is telling me where they want me to land, but I don't see it. That's just pointing to a ship high above me. I'm telling you that's the only landing area, but that's... Oh, what do those arrows mean? This is really annoying. Okay, refresh. You're really not gonna let me land anywhere, are you? Well, I'm just going to land of my own volition then. Which pads are the ones to land on? They're gonna be the ones on the far side that are designed for big ships. These. I'm gonna have to eat an unfortunate...
Collision alert. Low. Collision alert. Low.
Okay, I can't land on those two pads. It's gonna be the ones over here, which is fine. There we go. Let's come down on pad number 10. I'm gonna have to eat the negative.
Collision alert. Front.
I'm gonna get dinged for being Comstat for landing without clearance, but if the game doesn't give me clearance, what do you expect of me?
Rear landing complete.
Fuel is low. Why is my fuel is low? Where's my fuel status? My fuel shouldn't be low. Quantum fuel maybe, yes. Alright, let's go see if we can spawn the Prospector. Interesting how I didn't get a crime stat. I wonder why. Maybe because it's my first time landing on the pad against them. Close the ship. FPS is immediately a lot worse here. RAM is back up to 50% now. That's pretty intense. Might be running back into the memory leak. What do we got here? Trade and shipping console. Nice. Nice. Good, there's more kiosks now. That I like. This guy's still sitting here. Alright, so that's broken. Let's exit to the main menu. And then we will have to reload in and spawn the Prospector for a quick run out to see about trying mining. Now, mining has a few quirks where you have to do things a certain way. I'll talk more about that once I get to that point. Let's pick a different server and just go to Crusader, pick best. Come on, come on. Alright, so a few things I need to complain on in Spectrum once I get in there is the problem with the crashing. That is not cool in any way, shape, or form. And I need to discuss some of the ship maneuverability issues from earlier. Otherwise, performance isn't too bad. I'm kind of impressed by how well it's doing overall. It's probably the most stable it's ever been, at least consistently. Alright, so this server's starting me off at 19. That's not promising. Where the heck did it stick me if that's going to be the FPS? Let's hope it doesn't stay like this, otherwise mining is going to be kind of hard. Alright, so everything should be stored. Yep. Right, let's get the prospector out. Let's hope that we don't get any griefers out there. At least that voice is back. Number 6, let's roll. Let's see how many of those guys are sitting. Hey, same idiot walking into the wall. Every station's got one. Now, I know in the PTU there was a lot of people complaining that folks were stalking them and then just blowing them up for mining, so they really couldn't test a lot of stuff. So I'm really hopeful that I don't run into a lot of that. That's the old Mustang. I can't wait to see the new Mustang. Alright, so I have no idea really what I'm doing here with mining. Oh, somebody's got a reclaimer up there. Nice. Intership. Let's switch back over to... That's quantum linking. Mining. To scan for deposits, use the ping mechanic. Enter the ship's scanning mode, which is tab. Then hold and release the left mouse button to scan. Any mineable deposits will appear highlighted with a UI targeting bracket around them. Note, a ping will also temporarily increase passive radar detection range. Scanning deposits. Enter mining mode. Aim the mining reticle at the rock you wish to scan. Mine. Your ship will automatically begin scanning process to reveal the contents of the rock. Well, nice how it points me right at the toilet. And my door is broken. Well, that's good. Great, first time on the ship, and that's completely broken. Lovely. So I can open the toilet, go in the bog, wash my hands, drop a deuce, even close the door. But I can't go in the bridge. Why? Okay, so that would really suck if it's completely trashed on the first time I try and do anything. There it goes. I wondered if that would trigger it. Alright, so the Prospector's got some glitches. I don't remember those before.
Hello.
And now, of course, I get another major lag out. Just my luck. Alright, so I'm going to have to wait a minute, and I think my game's going to be dead. CPU, GPU usage are in the toilet. Well, this is the best performance consistently overall I had last run, excuse me. With 30 to 40 FPS, on average about 35. For the entire time I played, the 2 in that session, massive lag outs, and now 1 in this session are just brutal. Completely dumped the game. Kills it. Hard crash. Thankfully, persistence is working to allow me to get back in. So I'm going to see if I can kill the game. Get it to crash on me. Star Citizen has stopped working. I'm aware of this. Load my desktop, please. Close the program and relaunch. So it's got a memory leak or something that's killing it. Alright, I don't know if you can still hear me or if it's still working in any way on that. Stream should be back up now, so hopefully. Okay, it shows I've been live for over an hour, so I don't think it killed the stream yet. So we are reloading. Let's hope I can get back into that session. Yes, I want to get back in the session. Are you going to load my session? I did hit the proper bracket for that. Awesome. Well, if I have to respawn the prospect, I'll have to kill it there and do a separate session showing off what I can do with mining. I want to play and try mining right now, but hard crashes and waiting all that time is not very interesting for anybody. So I'm sorry about that. Let's get this going here. Definitely gonna have to make a post. Issue council's flooded with some, so I may go in there and see if I can contribute to their reports of failure so folks can look at it. I'll re-verify the game files and see how that's working out. But I don't think it's an issue with the game files, I think it's just a hard crash. Now there may be a new graphic driver. I haven't updated in a little while. Come on, get out of bed, you slowpoke. You haven't been sleeping all that long, don't act like you're tired. Open. Yeah, this is the right way. Shortcut. R display info 3. Move it. FPS seems a little better, yeah, I'm at 30 plus on this one. Stored miss prospector unknown. Great, I have to file a claim. Alright, so I'm not going to pay the expedited fee on that. I will come back and do mining separately. I'm really sorry about that, but it takes so long for the game to crash, reload, and do all that. I'm afraid I may have another crash in there. Performance is definitely much improved. Stability, not quite so much, whereas in 3.1.4, the stability was really good. The game never really crashed for me. It had micro stutters that kept causing the stream to drop because the game is what hard died. In this one, it seems to be a memory leak or something that screws with Windows, and Windows hard crashes the game itself. So thankfully the stream doesn't die every time, but the game itself, stability-wise, excuse me, that's what I get for being up all night job hunting. Stability-wise is much better. Performance-wise, I'm sorry, stability-wise is much worse. Performance-wise, it's much better. So the performance, the FPS is a lot more stable, whereas last time in here I was down to, after 5 minutes, I was down to like 16 FPS or worse. It was terrible in 3.1.4. And the micro stutters made it unplayable. So in this, very few micro stutters, potentially my PC micro stutters, though I haven't had a single one since I dumped Chrome earlier. Not a major micro stutter like we were seeing previously, but the game crashes a lot more. So I will do mining. I will probably do either a focused live stream on mining and touch on some of the other topics, or I'll do an offline video just because I don't want to have the crash issue again. I want to be able to edit everything together for you. Golly, talking too much. So thank you guys for watching. I know it was a bit rough. Combat was fun, but we saw some issues with the combat model, so I will also have to do some more combat specifically. But thank you guys.